Not only the worst president in U.S. history, but also the most corrupt.
This entire administration has been nothing but a sham.
He and his family are so full of slime that Nickelodeon is going to sue for trademark infringement.
You, Joe Biden. You know, there are a ton of people that are very upset with Joe Biden because he went against his word and he issued a pardon for Hunter Biden. And I completely understand why people would be upset. But there are so many Republicans out there that have absolutely no room to speak, but yet they are clutching their pearls like there is no tomorrow. But first, if you want to support independent progressive media and help me make it to 1,000 subscribers, please remember to hit that subscribe button. I am trying to make it to 1,000 before the end of the year, so I would very much appreciate your support. Now, I've already done another video on this whole Joe Biden, Hunter Biden pardon thing, and I'll basically sum up my take as, while I understand that it looks corrupt, it probably is corrupt for Joe Biden to pardon his son, especially after he said that he wasn't going to do it. I also can recognize that we are living in a completely different world where Donald Trump is coming into office in less than 2 months, and he is trying to appoint people like Kash Patel that will be his personal bulldog. He is promising revenge and retribution, and it's probably not fair to Hunter Biden to subject him to that if Joe Biden can avoid it. So, if we lived in a perfect world, I would definitely agree that Joe Biden should have definitely not done this. But Donald Trump kind of forced his hand, in a sense. He's appointing all of these lunatics, and he's promising revenge. So I think Joe Biden probably came to the best choice for our time. But let's go ahead and take a look at how some other people are responding to this news. We have people like Joe Walsh who are completely upset and telling everybody that Joe Biden's a liar. Let's just go ahead and take a look.
So the next time any of us complain about anything Trump does, this pardon is just deflating. Nobody's above the law, we've been screaming. Well, Joe Biden just made clear his son Hunter is above the law. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, we've been screaming. Joe Biden repeatedly lied about this. The politicization of the justice system, Donald Trump and his people have been screaming. Well, that's exactly what Biden said here.
Now, I completely understand that Joe Walsh is upset, but I am going to completely disagree with most of what he said there. The whole idea behind the Justice Department being politicized is part of the reason that Biden decided to go forward with this pardon in the first place. Donald Trump is threatening revenge and retribution. The Bidens have been in their crosshairs since day one. So, it's just not the same, Joe. And if you're trying to say that Joe Biden is a liar, I'm going to disagree with you on that too. The more likely explanation is that with these new set of circumstances, with the new information that we have, Joe Biden just changed his mind. And it is okay for people to change their mind. Do you really think it makes sense that Biden allowed his son to be dragged through the mud, be dragged through the courts, defamed in all these different ways, just so he could pardon him at the end of that? Why wouldn't he just pardon him in advance? It just doesn't make any sense that Biden was actually lying about this the whole time. So I'm just going to have to disagree with Joe Walsh here. I do understand that people are upset about this, but I also think that you need to take into account the current political environment that we live in and really ask ourselves, should Hunter Biden be punished even more by a Trump administration when he has already done so much to pay back, like the taxes that he owed? He's done so much to get clean and be an upstanding citizen. Does it really make sense that we subject Hunter Biden to another 10 years of political prosecutions by Trump's Justice Department? That's the question I would be asking myself. And I don't know. We'll just leave it there. Let's go ahead and move on to John Cornyn, of all people, trying to say that, well, there's just no accountability anymore after Biden did this.
Justice means nothing if it's not applied even-handedly. The notion that someone could be above the law simply because his father happens to be president is an affront to law-abiding citizens. It's a terrible example because without any accountability for people breaking the law, getting a pass, in other words, there is no deterrent effect or no accountability that teaches our young people and others that, yes, you need to follow the law, and yes, there are consequences if you don't.
Where was his energy when Donald Trump was granted blanket immunity for his acts while president? Where was this energy when Donald Trump got let off the hook because he won the next presidential election? Where was his energy there? You guys are supporting Donald Trump, of all people, the guy who has been able to walk free of pretty much all of his wrongdoing with no accountability, and you're going to stand on the House of Congress and you're going to bitch and moan to the Democrats about Joe Biden doing this one thing? Give me a break. These people are the biggest hypocrites in the world. They have absolutely no shame, and then they require the other side to play by a completely different set of rules than the Democrats, or than they have to. So, spare me your pearl clutching. Spare me your MAGA tears. I don't want to hear it about Joe Biden when you line up behind Donald Trump. Let's move on to one of the most smuggest figures on TV. I honestly do not know why CNN continues to keep Scott Jennings on their payroll. He doesn't provide much value. He is good content, but as far as his political analysis goes, there are much better people out there.
Scott, did you have the same concerns over a justice system for the elite, as you put it before, when it was Donald Trump pardoning Steve Bannon, Paul Manafort, Roger Stone, Michael Flynn, Charlie Kushner? Same concern then?
Listen, you guys can spend all day long trying to spin this, that this is Donald Trump's fault, that this is somehow caused by Donald Trump. Oh, he's appointing the wrong people. Oh, he did it. Oh, this is the worst possible thing a president could possibly do to his party and to the country, to sit for a year and say, I will not do this. I will not do this. The rule of law is sacred. We have to respect the justice system. Juries, we have to respect juries. We have to respect the guardrails and the norms of our democracy. These people are liars.
Now, I could watch Scott Jennings cry his MAGA tears all day long just because he is such a smug asshole. But if you are really trying to give Joe Biden grief for pardoning his son while you are lining up behind Donald Trump, who has pardoned all of his criminal cronies, you don't have any leg to stand on. You don't have it. You don't make any sense. Donald Trump pardoned all of these people who weren't even good candidates for pardon. He pardoned Steve Bannon, who freaking exploited people and stole their money, pretending that he was going to build his own border wall. Then you got people like Roger Stone. These people are a basket of deplorables. And Donald Trump pardoned every single one of them. Not to mention, he pardoned Jared Kushner's father. And then he just appointed him to be the next ambassador to France. You guys cannot continue to support Donald Trump and then continue to scream at the Democrats when they do something that you view as uncouth. It makes absolutely no sense. Scott Jennings should shut his mouth, but unfortunately, that's probably not going to be the case. Probably one of the most insane takes I saw was from Joe Manchin, a fellow Democrat. Listen to what he had to say about what Biden should do next.
As a father, I don't know of a father that wouldn't have done the same thing. What I would have done differently, and my recommendation as a counsel would have been, why don't you go ahead and pardon Donald Trump for all his charges and make it, it had gone down a lot more balanced, if you will. I'm just saying, wipe them out.
How does this make any sense at all? Are you really trying to compare Hunter Biden, somebody who lied on a gun form and didn't pay his taxes, to Donald Trump, somebody who tried to overturn a free and fair election and sent a mob of his supporters to the Capitol, who assaulted hundreds of police officers? Are you really making the argument that Hunter Biden is in any way comparable to the corrupt asshole Donald Trump? What is this attempt to try to equalize everything? We are not on equal playing fields. The Republicans let us know that each and every day. They have absolutely no shame for their actions, yet they try to hold Democrats to a completely different standard. And Joe Manchin is apparently trying to do that exact same thing. Well, the scale's got to be even, guys, so if you're going to pardon Hunter, then you got to pardon Trump too. Like, what is this nonsense? It makes absolutely no sense. There is no logic behind this that would make sense to anybody in this country, but yet you got Joe Manchin out there giving a quick interview to CNN, trying to get another minute of fame behind his belt. I don't even know what the hell Joe Manchin is doing, but I can tell you one thing. This is an insane argument to be making, especially coming from somebody like Joe Manchin. Screw these people, man. And then you've got Donald Trump, who is somehow now trying to equate Hunter Biden with the January 6th rioters. How about that?
Trump wrote, does the pardon given by Joe to Hunter include the January 6th hostages? Addressing a promise he campaigned off of.
Yeah, so now Donald Trump is surely going to use this and say, well, I'm going to pardon the J6ers because, well, Joe Biden pardoned his son, and these two think, well, we got to make it even, right? Donald Trump was going to pardon these people whether or not Joe Biden pardoned his son. Donald Trump is going to continue to do anything that he was going to do, but now he just has something shiny to point to try to blame the Democrats in some way. That's all that he got out of this. Do I think that it makes a difference whether or not Biden pardoned his son? No, I don't. I think Trump is a corrupt fascist, and he's going to continue to do whatever he wants to do. This probably burdens him in no way or unburdens him in any way. So I guess we can leave it there. I think that if we lived in a different world, Joe Biden shouldn't have done this. But it's really something else to watch Republicans clutch their pearls, cry their MAGA tears, yell at Joe Biden when they line up behind the wannabe dictator. No questions asked. It makes no sense to me, but I'll leave it there. If you guys got anything out of this video, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. I am trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I would very much appreciate your support. If you want to see my original breakdown of the actual pardon that Joe Biden did issue for his son, let's go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.